theoretical part is over now, and it is time for climax, and we are going to runway. But before we should return to our first stamp and see one strange thing in it. I bet you did not notice it. We saw many stamps, but this one is special. He has flat surface on top. It means that it was cut it down. Yes, exactly cut it, or sewn. And now our imagination is asking us, who cut it? For what? With what they cut it? I will answer these questions lately. We will put this question into the background because this stamp that was cut is not single one on our planet. I will tell you even more. Devil's Tower is small one compared to others. Boys and girls, our aircraft is ready to fly. Our course is, well, we have no course. We will fly our planet around. Fasten your seat belts and better hold the handrails, cause everything you will see will overturn your notion of rocks and mountains. Let's go. While we are flying, let's play a game. Find 10 differences. So, there are only two differences, material and size. These stamps are sticked out everywhere on the whole planet. There are hundreds of them. Scientists call them mesas, table from Spanish, because they have flat peak, flat as table. Well, cool stamps. And now let's remember beginning of our conversation. We thought we saw forests and even walked in them. So what matters if they are only 30 meters high? Is there a difference? We are pleased with this one that left. We enjoy their beauty, make bacon on a weekend. We are accustomed to these forests, so we do not need another ones. Then we discovered that old forest was preserved in USA, which is described in fairy tales and myths. Giant 100-meter sequoias, exactly this forest our mind drawn in when we hear word fairy forest. On the sequoias of California, our mind is stopping, breath of matrix forces. Otherwise, our mind's protectors will melt because Devil's Tower points to 6 kilometers high tree. But then we realized that Devil's Tower is a young plant compared to other trees on our planet. For example, mountain in the Cape Town, Africa. This is what really impressive. This plateau is 3 kilometers in diameter. If we sum 3 to 12, we will get tree of 60 kilometers high. Do you even give yourself a report how big its branches are? Only on one of its branches you can easily place huge residential quarter with all shopping malls, schools, parks. Just imagine how huge it is. Of course your mind will never see that this mountain in Africa is a tree that is 10 times higher than Devil's Tower tree. 60 kilometers. Where do they above? But guess what? This is not the limit. In the work of our Russian scientist and poet Alexander Sergeyevich Pushkin, we can read about giant fairy oak that was on the Buyansk Island, that we now believe been killed by our governments. That oak was supposedly in the center of the earth and was some hundreds kilometers high. Not sure how high, but for sure higher than Cape Town's one. This oak was the biggest plant on the earth. Remember, in the beginning I mentioned our prism of mind that helps to preserve it but distorts our reality. Ask any person to show you trees on the right foot, and he will immediately put his finger on the green on the ground without noticing that this is only pathetic bushes. Even can't say bushes, more looks like a moss when compared to this size, but definitely not a forest. Now you can understand why we can't find 9 dolphins, but do not dwell on fish and stumps. Once again, I want to urge you to think in planet sizes. If instead of dolphins and stumps we see lovers and mountains, imagine what is hidden from us with a curtain. That's why apocalypse is translated as curtain opening. Do you now understand why I mentioned this matrix prism in the beginning, through which we are looking in, and it turned out that we see nothing? The real world is different. I can call today's state of the society a real dream, and the sad part that it is not figuratively. You know, in Russian language, word tree is spelled de-re-vo. Word ancient tree is spelled d-re-vo. And the word ancient tree is spelled d-re-vnost. It means that on Russian language, the language of Aryans, ancient tree means time when old giant trees grew. Interesting, isn't it? Well, let's put all lyrics in the background and continue our flight. I think you will ask me, maybe it is time to come back to our questions. Who cut it? For what? What they used to cut trees? No, it is too early. We know that the whole face of our planet was covered by giant vegetation, so we can ask ourselves, where did all other forests go? The thing is that these so-called mesas are just single ones, best trees that were chosen for cutting. Whole other forest of the planet was laid down by blast waves. We reviewed only stumps with flat peak. Does anyone remember how not cutted but broken tree looks like? I will remind you. Understood my hint? No? Let's play a game again. Find 10 differences. I think you understood meanings of my words, so I want you to look at the highest stumps of our planet that were mined like a quarry and were broke by a blast. For example, tree Everest. How you already guessed, there is no such thing as rocks on our planet. That's all just pieces of broken stumps. You can look at millions of photos, but only thing that you will find is corpses of our true environment. How official science explains origin of rocks, I think you guessed too. Now you understand why we are so charmed by rocks, why all elite properties is placed between rocks, why the most clean material for the construction are pieces of rocks, cause even if they are dead, they still emit powerful energy for us, mortal carbon human beings. Stone is a bridge between silicon and carbon life forms. And now, important thing, you must learn how to distinguish rocks from mountains. They are completely different things. Rocks consist of solid pieces of raised stone with bulging to the sky fragments of fibers. But mountain is just a pile of loose waste, which were brought by giant machines. It has almost perfect cone shape, like every loose structure does. Sometimes those piles has chemical waste inside. Sometimes those wastes react with each other. Sometimes they just burn, but sometimes explode. And then nerds in the white coats scream that they invented a new volcanoes and tell immediately you as stories from crypt how 200 million years ago this volcano formed those silicon stumps, or explains origins of our streets sidewalk tiles as a result of the ancient volcanic eruption. That's why no such things as volcanoes, rocks and mountains. You can throw out those terms from your vocabulary. Okay, let's fly further. So, from our board, you saw that absolutely all rocks on our planet are just corpses of silicon form of life. They all are fallen trees, you want to ask? No, not all of them has hexagonal structure, like Devil's Tower. Some of these rocks have lamellar structure or spongy structure, like our mushrooms do. Like liver is different from our heart or lung, so our ancient world was so diverse that we can't even identify or imagine lots of species and subspecies. And now let's imagine amount of the wood that must left after fall of such trees. Where all these materials are. If the trees were 6 to 100 kilometers, there must be lots, tons of the wood. You know, this theme was greatly disclosed by Pavel Ulyanov. He has nickname Wake Up Humans. He made a revolution in the theme of geology and principle of bucket wheel excavators work. Let me introduce to you. This giant cuttlefish on the photo is Badger 288, one of the world's biggest rotor excavators. And this is how those machines work. It crawls on its wheel parallel to the quarry wall. Giant wheel with ladles scratches out rock and ground and all living things, leaving concave wall after itself. Geologists must be hypnotized in schools while they are students, cause why else they call this quarry waste miracle of the nature, like for example this cliff in Australia. Want to laugh? If you do not believe in retardness of the last stage, just Google wave rock and check official explanation. 100% unbelievable how people buy into this. Some people will ask, which stone was a part of the living plant and which was not? I want to tell you that at least 7,500 years ago there was no such thing as stones at all. Everything you can find now was a part of our ecosystem. But then people said that they want to be gods themselves and screwed everything up. I want to ask you, open your minds. They live, we sleep. But they not only live, they also are killing our planet. They are doing this even now, while you are watching this. Wake up, humans! You must review all the knowledge they gave to you in elementary school, middle school, high school, history, geography, geology. Open your mind. I want you to look at these photos. Today we have lots of artifacts which we can't repeat because of certain conditions, as lack of technology, lack of equipment or specialists, and which are evidence that our civilization, at least 200 years ago and before, compared to us today, was more developed, and our today's society are just kids in the sandbox. Here is some examples. Babolova Bass. Here is what Leisman, that was near it, tells us. Sorry for my language, but they are telling us absolute bullshit that somehow master made it for 7 years and polished it every day, like Papa Carlo. Absolute bullshit. With all my responsibility as laceman of 5 level, I declare that this is machine procession. Concave and convex surfaces of this base strictly precise, circle on the whole diameter, very accurate spherical surface in the lower part of the base. Inside the base on the bottom, the same super accurate concavity for the whole diameter. This product is impossible to do manually, especially to polish it manually. I have an impression that it is only yesterday got out of machine. Polished is like from Isaac's cathedral's columns. It is impossible to do without high-class, high-speed polishing and grinding instruments. Next one, Alexandrian columns. Weight is 600 tons, 27 meters high. Without turning in this on a lathe machine, this column has shape of enthusiast, simply impossible to do manually. Peru, Ollantaytambo. Polygonal docking of blocks. Weight is 120 tons. The level of adjustment you can see yourself. Blocks are aligned in 3 dimensions. Cappella San Severo, made from a single piece of marble. This is impossible without advanced CNC machine. For the last 50 years, there was nothing even far similar in complexity of execution has not been done by any sculptor, even with the CNC machine. Marble tombstone on Monumental Cemetery, Santiago, Museum in Genoa. Stone bridges in Sevastopol. Each polygonal stone of the bridge is essentially a single sculpture. An example of modern work with the stone is on the left. By today's standards, it is considered quite acceptable. All the cities on the planet were built of stone in antique style, with pre-designed layouts of streets, avenues, embankments, and so on. All cities have stone bastion wall, construction volume which is often equal to the construction volume of the city. Something about 1780 to 1815 years we experienced nuclear war. It's likely not the first time in the world, which resulted in the nuclear winter in the 1816, a year without summer. The Anglo-Saxons call it 1800 and froze to death. Here is some screenshots from Google Earth, photos of nuclear craters in the territories such as Belarus. Such craters are easy to find. White traces around craters are broken limestone, the basic material of that time. To visualize the damage, search in Google Roger Ainton Crimea or James Robertson Crimea and see the pictures, and you will see photos of this first war photographers sent in the Crimea in 1853 after nuclear war to take pictures of the siege of Sevastopol. Compare vegetation then and today. An example of photo of Sevastopol by Ainton. Until the 18th century, houses were built almost entirely of limestone. For cutting were used advanced machines to make a perfect parallelepipeds. Here are some photos of the houses in Crimea. All houses in all cities of old USSR are covered with clay for 3 or 4 meters. All houses that are deepened into the ground 4 meters have such good quality. It takes 200 years, and during the Soviet era, such a masonry of limestone is considered to be very good. It is Eskikremen. Illiterate guides will tell you that it is one of the cave cities of Crimea where people lived. When I asked about this trek, I was told that this trek is done by cartwheels of local nobility, and this is another so-called cave city of the Crimea. And this is modern quarry where limestone is mined. This photo is made before the revolution, 1917. You can see that from the rock is accurately cutted segment, the bottom of which runs the railway and where a house is standing. And now very important photo of Ingerman's quarry, the name Champani, made in 1890. You can clearly see cutted passageways through the rock, 100 meters in width and 80 meters of height. Under the vertical wall we can see small pieces of limestone and limestone crumb that fell off because of working saw machine. In the cutted holes we can clearly see houses. Some of these holes are beginnings of catacombs. Some of them are extend for hundreds of kilometers. It's conducted a large-scale underground mining of limestone. In the days of the Second World War, in the catacombs were hospitals, warehouses, headquarters. Trucks freely drove in and out of these catacombs. By the way, there are ancient catacombs at any city of the world. Near Odessa, catacombs length is 2,500 kilometers. Everything they tell us as rocks, canines, ravines, cliffs are just nothing more than a quarry. There are very old quarries over there and many fresh ones. This is White Rock in the Belogorsk near Crimea. It is a limestone quarry. The wall was formed as a result of the cut slope of the hill. Want to see more? Look at the passage from which a huge mass of limestone was taken. They lie to you, and guess how they call it? They call it Valley, beautiful wonder of the earth. Check this out. This is old photo from 19th century, mound at the vertical wall of limestone chips, not yet overgrown with vegetation. This is old painting from 1855. We can see ancient giant quarry wastes in the background. Are you impressed by the scale of the mining just in little Crimea? I want to tell more. There is no cubic feet of land, probably 100 meters deep over the entire earth, which would not have been in its times mined, milled, masticated and discarded. It is not a planet, but a giant quarry waste pit, where the most violent and barbaric way the whole periodic table of Mendeleev is extracted. And now look at these photos and pay attention to the tight structure of the quarries and mines. Rotor excavators, tight cuts massives. It's formed structure with right angles and viewed from above. And now I want to show you the rocks, ridges, gorges, canines, cliffs in almost uninhabited nowadays places with different romantic names. Often they are named by the name of their discoverer. Are all academics and professors of geology and other scientific nerds do not see it? Mountain on the Kolan Peninsula, do not know the name. Mountains on Antarctica that were only discovered in 1820. Antarctica, Here even left the traces of the heavy machines and equipment. Greenland, Watkins Mountains. Look at the scale of mining. Greenland, Flight, Frankfurt, Los Angeles. Gunbjorn, the highest mountain in the Greenland, 3,700 meters. No problem, almost completely gutted. Svalbard, Norway. Aurora Borealis in the background of quarry. Antarctica. Transantarctic Mountains. At the foot, traces of the machines are still visible. Antarctica. Transantarctic Mountains. Quarry system. Pay attention to the background. Mount Kailash, Tibet. The height is 6,638 meters high. Have you ever seen that in our time heavy mining equipment were raised to such heights? Goblin Valley, State Park, Utah, USA. Gloss Mountains, State Park, Oklahoma, USA. Grand Canyon, Arizona, USA. It is just giant quarry waste, gutted territory. Millions of tourists think that it is almost a miracle of the world because they were told so. Quarry, Grand Canyon, Arizona, USA. Nowhere we can find traces of water erosion, only the shock explosive impacts on the silicon vegetation. Quarry, Rocks, Spitsbergen. Quarry, Grand Canyon, the cut of the stone with circular saw. Quarry in Australia, Blue Mountains. Blue Mountains from another angle. Blue Mountains, the vertical wall, compare it with the marble quarry in the Alps, has not yet been subject by water and erosion. And this is marble mining in the Alps. Giant quarry, do not know where. This photo is offered as a wallpaper on the desktop across the internet. Cap Rock, Canyons State Park, Texas. Again, a national park created from the exhausted quarry waste in USA. In some quarries where much moisture, people do farming. Binahwe, rice terraces. Again, Binahwe, rice terraces. And this is Canyon de Chile, National Monument, USA. There the soaps apparently did tunneling, so-called painted hills in Oregon, mountains, ravine, South Africa, Orange River and mountains. National Park in Israel, just a quarry, Tamna. Quarry, Green Canyon in China. Flooded quarry, Charak Reservoir in Uzbekistan. Flooded quarry, another angle. As you see, there are no natural so-called rocks, gorges, canyons, cliffs, ravines on this planet. You know, while people argue in the internet how flat the earth is, like a pancake? Or maybe a little concave? Our masters literally devouring our home and turning it into a desert and scrapyard. Guess what? It appears that there are quarries on our planet the size of several countries. For example, in Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan, Tajikistan, Afghanistan, Kazakhstan, Iran. There is almost no soil in the most part of these countries, because 100 meters layer with soil and all living things on it was removed. It looks like the Aral Sea and the Caspian Sea are just giant flooded quarries. Yes, all areas in the world that is painted yellow on Google Maps are the bottoms of quarry wastes. Uzgurt Plateau in the middle of the picture is group of the cars. If you fill this quarry with a layer of water 15 meters high, you will get the analogy of the Sea of Azov, And this is Sea of Azov, flooded old quarry. The bottom is smooth as a table on which rotor excavators rolled. The maximum depth is 15 meters. Perhaps thorium was mined here. The edge of the Karakum Desert, the area of 350,000 kilometers squared. The impression that planetary reaper worked here. In reality, quarry for the list of population, Kanayan Yangikala, the wonder of the world, Turkmenistan. In reality, quarry for the population, Plateau Tuzbar, Kazakhstan. USA, Monument Valley. Previously, this area was several hundred meters high, up to the stumps of the silicon trees in the background. Same Monument Valley, USA. Namibia. This desert is bottom of the quarry. Egypt. Top layer is scraped out with soil and all living things on it, also burnt by nuclear blasts. Most part of the Australia is cutted and scraped almost completely. No soil, only red desert left. Australia. Nigeria, desert. The conclusion is, deserts are 100% artificial. They emerged as a result of long-term mining activities. Even more, you can easily and safely replace the world's canyons, gorges, rocks, ravines, plateaus, a mountain lake, just a simple lake in your vocabulary, to the words quarry, mine, flooded quarry and flooded mine. Krivoboria in Russia. Krivoboria in different angle. In the middle of this island, overgrown with bushes, stood rotary excavator. Creux Do1 in Switzerland. Obviously the work of rotary excavator. Siberia, Anabari quarry. And now look at this. This is piles of waste rock in Donbass. Their height sometimes reaching 300 meters. Inside them are chemical reactions. They burn and sometimes they even explode when they accumulate excess pressure. And some more. And now let me introduce to you, this is just a pile of waste called Vesuvius in Italy, 1281 meters high. But science nerds will tell you that this is volcano because it's burning and even once it's exploded. What a story! How people buy into it is beyond me. And now look at the biggest piles of waste that officially called terracons or volcanoes on our planet. This is terracon in Fujiyama in Japan. People, if you think that our masters lie to you, you are still sleeping. We live on a desert and giant quarry that we are turning into a scrapyard.